Hey guys, Mike here. So, woo boy, what a day in the market, and boy, did that jobs data do its job, right? I mean, if you didn't see the data, we'll go into it, but when it comes in hot, what I tell you, that 10-year, woo boy, who doggy, that thing got to going, right? And so we're going to get into all the data, why the 10-year might be stalled out right here for just a minute, and I'll show you why on the chart. Could be. Again, we got a lot more data. As I said yesterday at the end of the video, if you watched it, I said, what's this jobs data going to do? Create a whole lot of volatility, okay? And I went back and actually looked at the last like 5 different, because this takes, they do this every month or whatever, every 5 weeks for a week, right? Where they just load up on jobs data, all kinds of job data, and that creates more volatility than anything in the market. I was looking for a pattern, anything, there's no pattern. But the one thing that is true, the moves are huge and they're quick and they're powerful in both directions, okay? We've seen this before. We come down one day and then all of a sudden, boom, the next job data, all of a sudden it comes in, oh, it's weaker than we expected, whatever, and the 10-year drops, and all of a sudden the market goes, we love it. Crazy stuff. Art reacts differently, but either way. And so we'll get into all that fun stuff. Again, we talked about the levels and everything, but I do want to take a moment to sit here and congratulate Nvidia employees. This is an insane stat, but check this out. 78% of Nvidia's employees are now millionaires. 1 in 2 are worth over $25 million. Isn't that a crazy stat? So congratulations to you, and I also celebrate somebody else who is making life-changing money as well, taking advantage as an executive of these huge run-ups in some of these companies. This guy just made life-changing money 2 days ago. So generational wealth is what he's creating. So I'll show you that as well. So anyway, getting into the market, you can see as soon as that data hit, man, it's like the market went, ISM Services Index, up 54.1, 53.5 was the estimate, up 52 from prior, new orders up, and then look at prices paid at the bottom, 64 from 58. Oh, well, that's not good. Then you go over to the JOLTS jobs report, which is hot garbage as far as I'm concerned, because this is from November, by the way, but 8.098 million versus 7.74. The other one was revised up. And then the 10-year goes, well, I'll see you later, guys. Boom, up 1.2%. Goes up, breaks those 2 trend lines, goes up to another, what we'll call resistance now at this point in time. And you can see it actually made those trend lines support at 1 o'clock when they did what? A bond auction. A 10-year bond auction was today. We talked about that yesterday. And so they end up pumping that up today. And so, are we at where we're going to be for a minute? Probably. There's another line right above around 4.73 or something like that. So we'll see if we're just going to, of course, keep saying that, and then it keeps going higher and higher and higher, right? And so, it broke through both those trend lines right there. Again, it got rejected that next line, which we talked about. And so we're going to see if, maybe we get some cool data tomorrow where it doesn't come in as good as expected. And you see the 10-year take a breather, which of course the market will ramp and start going higher and everything. But to show you how fast this stuff can flip the market, I put this in the Discord at 10 minutes before that data hit. And it was talking about the gamma level. You see, a lot of bright colors, right? I think it was 6050, what it was right there was the big one. And then 10 minutes after the data hit, boom, nothing but negative gamma, right? It was just, it was so fast. They flipped it, and it's just, and the market started going down and did not recover for today. And we talked about this on the SPY. There's 2 levels. You're going to break this, we're going to fill the rest of this gap, or this level right here was where the gap was going to end at, get filled. It came down, mitigated most of this fair value gap, came back up, retested what? That same line right there, got rejected, came back down and mitigated almost the entire fair value gap at the end of the day. And so 592.13 right there is going to be pretty key to get above tomorrow. There is a small gap right down here which we're going to mark out if we do get more selling pressure. If this data, which comes out early, it comes out at 8:15, this jobs data, okay? And so most of this move is going to happen in pre-market, whichever way it goes. And we've seen this many times, a sell-off on one, a big pump on the other, okay? And so I'm not saying it's going to pump, because I don't have the jobs data early. I'm just saying we've seen it many times, so do not be surprised. And again, what is this? These are lower highs. We keep talking about market structure and everything else. Right now, as I put in the morning news brief, this is a downtrend. That's what this is right now. Okay, you got to start building out structure, and on the shorter term time frames, like an hourly and stuff like that, which is where we're at right now, you just got to get above that trend line. You got to start breaking those levels to start building out if this is going to, start heading higher. And that's just not happening right now. So we're just playing level to level. And right now, you got to get above the area I told you about, around that 600 area. Okay, anybody, we can have one day rallies all you want, or one day drops all we want, but that's where you got to get above right now if you're a bull. And so far, the bears have been, stepping in, selling it, the market that is, when they need to. And so if we move up, obviously getting above the 592.27 area is going to be critical for tomorrow. And here's something else to keep in mind. The 50 is right there. We lost the 50 moving average today. It was resistance. We broke above it. And now what is it? It's going to be resistance again. And that's where that line is. It's not just a magic level I was talking about. That's what the 50 is as well. So we'll see overnight, what they're going to do, what Asia and European sessions are going to do and everything. And, how much this is going to move and what happens at 8:15 with the market, which you also see the Qs, right? It's coming down. And it's very close to this 50 moving average, which also this very lines up with another gap that it could fill. All right, there's no predicting what they're going to do overnight. There's no predicting what the job data is going to come out. We got plenty of job data this week coming out, not just tomorrow. Friday is going to be a really big day as well. I'm going to move these over. But again, if you're looking at levels, just find the fib levels and use those as key support. 519.64. That's what you want to start getting above to start trying to build out. And then see that high right there around 527. That's the next level you want to get to. And start getting higher highs and higher lows. That's what the bulls need to do. Now, look at IWM. We had these two trend lines. It bounced off this at first and then blew right through it. See you later. And so we're going to get rid of that one. It is, at the end of the day, holding this other trend line right now. But when we look at this, we all know where the shaded area is at. And the shaded area has been key so far. And so we're going to extend that one out right there and just say if we do continue to sell down, that shaded area is going to be obviously a much needed bounce area. It has been bounced, what is it, like 20 different times we bounced off that shaded area. So there's obviously demand there. So as long as you're not breaking through there, you're still just fine. You're still just in a range. And we know at the top, 226.79, baby. Gotta break that right there. And so, unlike the other ones, that's not in a downtrend. It's just in a range, right? This is what this is. This is a range right now. And so you actually see two higher highs when you're looking on a daily right there. And the low, if it can turn up from here, you'll get a higher low right there. And so that's where you got to see if it's going to hold. And it depends on, look, if the 10-year keeps ramping, and all of a sudden we go past that next level I told you about, start heading to 5, IWM ain't happening. Okay, that's just the way it is. And so we'll see. But we've seen this movie before. We've kind of seen how it ends. So a lot of this it's just data dependent. You just have to mark the levels out and go off the levels. Now looking at Tesla here, is this going to be a higher low? Is that what this is going to be? And we're going to break above this right here and start trying to hit higher. Is that what's going to happen? Or again, it's bouncing off the golden pocket area. For now, that's a higher low. Setting on a 4-hour right there. Don't be surprised if we break above this, maybe go into this area right here, which now maybe become resistance right there around like 420, 425, maybe somewhere in here. And then maybe even start selling down, going towards that 0.79 fib, which we also know, I've told you, is where the 50 moving average is. Don't be surprised at all by that. And I think, again, it's really going to depend on what Nvidia is doing, obviously where the market wants to head right now, because what you're seeing is those theme stocks, which were Palantir and Tesla and a bunch of others, they're the ones selling down and money rotating because they had such great moves into some other areas right now. And so don't be surprised. I mean, again, and I never count Tesla out because you know as well as I do. You see those call sweeps start rolling in, get out of the way because you're going to get steamrolled. Okay, you didn't see that today, did you? And so right now, this is what we talked about. That is a downtrend. I showed you a channel yesterday for now. That's what that is. And so again, we'll pull up the 50s. You can see what I'm talking about. If you've never seen a video here before. And it sets right there at what was resistance. And it never was flipped as support though, because when it blew through that level, it never came back down to retest it. It just took off and it was gone. And so this would be the first time if it got down there, it would actually test it out. And so that would be a really good balance area, and we'll see if it happens. Just keep an eye on that. Now, Nvidia, look at this candle. This candle don't even look real, does it? I mean, seriously, as many times I look at the Nvidia chart, look at that candle. It looks like somebody like painted it on there or something. It was like an accident. But again, we talked about this double top scenario. Look, if the market's crashing, we're going down to 99. All right. If it ain't crashing, can you imagine Nvidia getting down to 99 and how many people be stepping in to buy? But one thing you know about Nvidia, when it sets these new all-time highs, here's a double top. And it tends to kind of do this. It missed it right here by $4. It'll set a high, come down, try to come back up, retest it, and here it missed by $4 to do it, but then go down. And so if we just scroll over, you can see it again, another sign where this happened over to the right over here. And again, these aren't official double tops or anything like that, but you see it came up, set a high, sold back down, came up, retested it, and then ended up selling down again. And so now we kind of got this same scenario playing out, but that candle is a trip, man. And where did it stop? Came down to the 50 moving average. You're seeing a lot of stocks coming down to the 50, right below the 50. And so, and plus it has that trend line support, horizontal support in the 50. So if that breaks, and this is what we talked yesterday, go by the levels, 145, 140, right? That's what we talked about. So if that does break, that's going to be a very interesting break, because you can see the 135 level right down there is where you're looking at next. But I know a lot of people went into calls today, and so we'll see if they're right or wrong on this one, to try to play for the bounce here to see if it happens. And again, you can't predict data, and the news, yes, the news helps to drive the market, so to speak, but it's not like what the news is. I mean, I know it's hard to explain, but the market, it moves it where it wants to move it and just uses the news as an excuse to do that, right? And so the excuse is, hey, we still got a hot market, 10-year pumps, things come down, it puts pressure on the market. The dollar pumped again today. And so again, we're going to see there is a gap right here, which I'll mark out. Maybe you see a sell down in pre-market, and then it pops from there and goes, but that's what we've got to see. I mean, again, a lot of semis were under pressure. I'm going to draw another trend line right here for this right here. MU actually was probably the best of the group. I mean, it's been doing well after it got hammered on earnings, coming way down into a discount. That's what they love to do, is rotate money into stocks and indexes that are on discount, and that was on a major discount, and that was like a 9% drop today. That candle still trips me out. I mean, that is a crazy candle right there. Now, looking over Palantir, thought maybe we stop at the 0.79, which we did for a minute, but nope, sold back down. So now we're back in this shaded area, and I know a lot of people blamed Jim Cramer yesterday, but yes, it did get a downgrade, as somebody in the comments said, which is true. But again, Tesla and Palantir have been selling down since that Cramer tweet. So we'll see where this can go. But again, this was another one of those theme stocks. It's got way up there, and I will celebrate somebody else who absolutely is making multi-millions right now and life-changing money in this, because he sold a lot of Palantirs a couple of days ago. But again, you got your 50 down here, so some key levels are gonna sit here and be where that fib is at the 67.82 level, and so that's going to be key if this thing continues to sell down, to hold that level right there. And so look for that to hold. If it doesn't, look for the 50 to hold right there. If we get a bounce and it starts to move back up, obviously it's going to start building up, and you got to get above that trend line right there. The trend line you just broke, got to get right back above it, start setting new higher lows, new higher highs. That's just the way it is. But this one, obviously, to me, it's not a bad thing if it pulls back, because it's a good thing to test your 50. This thing got way stretched. I showed like weeks and weeks ago how overstretched it was, and then all of a sudden it started consolidating at these different levels, right? And so that's not a bad thing. And these are the ones you count against it, and all of a sudden what happens? Trump tweets something, it comes out with a new contract or some crazy mess. But right now, I mean, this deserves to sell down, because a lot of people are selling, taking profit, and rightfully so, because they're way up. Like this guy right here. The people getting rich are the executives. And this guy sold $36 million worth just a few days ago. So good for him. That's some life-changing money. Let me see how many shares this is. I'll click on the other ones. I put this in the Discord for everybody to see right here. And you can see 483,987 shares. That's a boatload of shares. I guarantee you still probably got a whole lot more than that, though. He sold at 74.48. And so that is life-changing money, my friends, and that is very smart to do when stocks run up to this much, this fast, okay? Now, looking at where money's still flowing into, this is last week's flows, but you can see large cap, 22 billion, little chump change going into bonds here or there, mid caps, whatever, but you can see the mega caps, those are just the safe havens to put money right now. That's the way it is, all right? Now, when you look at the data, I'm talking about 815 ADP non-farm employment changes. Unemployment claims are 830. That 10-year bond auction was today. Don't worry about that. Crude oil inventories, and then FOMC minutes at 2 p.m., which shouldn't be a surprise, but the market will react off of it, okay? So let me know if you got something out of it. Hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Think about signing up for the membership. Let's the McDonald's combo, and that is everything you get with it. And so just buckle up, starting tonight, because every day is going to be volatile, except, of course, we'll close on Thursdays, which some people might be happy about that, but we'll see. Again, I got to check and see if futures are trading on that day or not. So anyway, have a good one, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.